Alex Cora talking about the fact that it was like Dodger Stadium, that a lot of Red Sox fans seem to have sold their tickets to Dodgers fans. And Curtis, I agree with you. I don't fault these fans at all for giving up their ticket, especially for this weekend when there was so much confusion and question marks around what the strike was going to do to your fan experience, how the Red Sox had been playing. It ended up being a great weekend for the Red Sox. If you were there to see those two games on Saturday and Sunday, you got two good ones. But overall, I mean, it makes sense.
And I think the Dodgers, they do a good job. I think they travel well, their fan base.
But this is an indictment. To me, it's not an indictment on the fan base. It's an indictment on what the ownership has done to the fan base. Where this, Wiggy, the only times you ever heard opposing fans at Fenway Park were Yankees, Red Sox. When Jeter would go deep, you'd have the 20% of Yankee fans at Fenway yell, just the same as you hear Red Sox fans at Yankee Stadium when they are winning a game, because with that rivalry, it's always going to be not 50-50, but you'll hear from both fans. Last summer, it was the Dodgers and the Blue Jays at Fenway Park, and you would have closed your eyes and thought you were in Toronto or Chavez Ravine. And this weekend, there were a ton of Dodgers fans around Boston. I saw a bunch in the Seaport, and they flew in, they bought the tickets, and I totally support Red Sox fans selling them. Absolutely.
Right. Do you think it's part of the possible food strike thing?
I think that has something to do with it.
Or is it that
I just don't think the Dodgers fans that came waited for the food strike. I feel like you would have to fly in, and I'm sure there are some that live in the area, but
I guess maybe it's like, do you think it's more, and I know Courtney's not a huge fan of the word, but the Pink Cats, do you feel like it's more Red Sox fans nowadays are not like the diehard, so they got no issues with selling their seats?
See, we talk about that a lot, but the more that I talk to people, the diehards are still there. Like Red Sox diehards.
But there are a lot of them, though.
I just think that the price that people have to pay to go to Fenway Park, no matter what the weekend is so high that people look at where they were playing going into this series, and they're like, I'll give up my ticket. I'm sure they could sell them for a pretty penny to a Dodgers fan.
It's obscene, Wigs. Like, if you were, like, living in the city's different. You can you could grab a cab, an Uber, you get there back and forth for $30. It's $60 to park. It's $200 for the babysitter, or it's $200 a ticket if you're bringing the kids. You are easily $200, probably $300 for the babysitter. Then you've got dinner, you've got drinks, you're looking at over $1,000. And if you can make that money back, I would absolutely do it.
One thing that I saw over the weekend, and I wish I had the clip, I should have sent it to Jackson, to Mitch, but there was a Dodgers fan who was their first time at Fenway, and it came across my TikTok, if you will. And it was very cool to see him. He said, it's my first time at Fenway. I've never been to a ballpark, and I've been to a ton of ballparks that have ever taken my breath away. And he sat down. He had great seats to begin with, kind of right behind home plate. But to then turn the camera and see Fenway, and I think we are spoiled. We talk about Fenway. We complain about Fenway. We talk about how the seats are too small and how it's too old and how they need to update. But to hear from a fan that traveled to come to Fenway for the first time, it was on their list of ballparks they needed to see before they died, and to give kind of that rave review, that's why Fenway's never going to change. And it's cool to see people that have never seen it see it for the first time. Again, we're spoiled. We complain about it, but it is very cool to have a historic ballpark like Fenway Park in our backyard.
But it's also like...
It's also a downside, too, though. Like, because now the ownership group, they don't care who's in the game.
Yes.
But I also feel like, the games that I've been to, or you watch the games on TV, I always feel like no matter what it is, they're always, close to selling out. It's always packed, especially if the weather's nice or what, know. People are always there. So I think if your ownership, you would never complain about anything, because people are always, you're packing that place out. And part of it is, they want to go do the selfies and that kind of thing. And I think you see more, a lot more of like the fan that says, oh, this is an experience for me. I'm going to go down there and I'm going to kind of, go to Fenway and try to put this on my bucket list. So I don't know. I feel like
you should see the lines when I get there, when we do the show from Fenway on Saturday mornings, the lines of people waiting for a tour. And then I went in, I was getting, just to pick me up, I had like 15 minutes to kill, and I was like, oh, I got the gift, half off at the pro shop. And I walk in, it's 12:15. The game's not till 7 that night on Saturday. there was like 200 people in Twins.
Yeah,
or whatever it's called now.
Was Saturday was also the run to home base, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
But, yeah, that's true, I guess. But the run to home base, that's one thing they do. That's great, by the way. Amazing work by the Red Sox Foundation. And what they've done with Fenway is remarkable. In a million years.
But it's not like other stadiums because, it's crazy. My son and I, we were watching, I think it was Detroit was playing, so I can't even remember. And the seats behind home plate just look so comfortable, cushions on them. Even when they played out in, I want to say it might have been Seattle or, San Francisco.
San Francisco's an awesome
I've been
park.
to San Francisco. That's a great park.
Right. So the seats look so nice. And you're right. They'll never change the Fenway experience. But for people who are here, who go to Fenway, they're probably like, man, upgrade these seats. It's too tight.
But did Yankee Stadium, when they did the redo of that entire thing, did they update the seats? Because people say they go there and it sucks now.
Yeah, the old Yankee Stadium was awesome.
Right. So
I haven't been to the new one, but people say it has none of the feel, I mean, listen, I have a lot of problems with the ownership group, as it's been well stated on this show. What they did to Fenway Park is an unmitigated success. The seats on everything looks like it's been that way forever.
Yeah.
It feels that way.
We used to have a closed-in structure behind home plate in the 600 Club. We had no seats up on the right. You go to the Dell deck, you have this unbelievable view of the city of Boston. There used to be the green surrounding the bleachers, so you couldn't see the skyline from inside Fenway Park. The Sam's roof deck that we go to, which is unbelievable. You can rip Larry Lucchino, you can rip John Henry, you can rip all of the, I think, is it Janet Marie Smith? Is she the ballpark designer? Anyway, what they did with Fenway is amazing, and it's not going to change. You can say lipstick on a pig. You haven't been to Fenway Park if you think it's just lipstick on a pig. I understand people are big, the seats are small.
Oh, they are. But see, those areas you're talking about, whether it's atop the Green Monster or it's the Sam Adams sports deck over there, they made those a little bit more comfortable, right? The originals are just still stuck to what it was like 1930. And, if you are a larger person, it obviously the feel being there is fun. I always prefer being at a baseball game than watching it on television. But I am more along the lines where you don't have to tear Fenway down and build a new one. I would just like to see you put in some new seats. But I'm cool with that.
Yeah,
big-boned people could use better seats.
Yes.
But they tried to do that at the TD Garden, and the seats, I think, are even worse.
Yeah, they made them smaller.
They added cushions, and they made it smaller.
I was literally thinking the exact same thing.
Yeah.
And it's more than cushion. I need a little bit of leg room. TD Garden, you're right.
But then you're going to be taking seats away. It's going to be less.
I don't
But
care.
Wiggy, I guarantee
don't really care about taking seats
if you
away.
go to Citi Field or if you go to Yankee Stadium,
I've never been there. I have to go.
You're going to not be comfortable. You are 6'6".
Am I going to be squeezed in there?
You're just you are an above average sized man, not in a negative light.
Right.
You're a big guy.
I guess maybe you might be right.
Are
You need
you
a
comfortable in any coach seat on a plane?
No.
So that's what the world is.
All right.
That's where we are. I mean,
then maybe they should think about us. I'm with the fat lady who was trying to fly and say, you know what? They need to think about the larger and obese people.
No,
you're
there
just a
should be
sweet
seating
guy.
for you. There should be seating for people get Comfort Plus at Fenway.
Right. There should be some,
Leave Santo and Coach.
there should be some of that, but I've never been to another stadium, so maybe you might be right. It'd probably be tight no matter where I went.
All right, well, we're going to get to Hill.